Part two, same topic. I have timers going today, okay? Can't say one reason why. I can't talk about it, okay? Part two, let's just keep moving on, man. Yes, I still have to use timers, but I can't talk about it. Just figure it out with what I'm putting up, man. I don't mean to be so nasty. I don't even remember where I was. I'm fucking tired of living like this with 22 cents in my fucking bank account. I'm not yelling at the good guys. I'm just getting this off my chest so I can forgive and I can live a life of happiness, okay? You got to talk about things that happened, you know? If you repress and suppress everything, you'll never forgive and move on in your life. No, you need to work it out, okay? So I don't remember what the fuck I was saying because of the timer. Sorry, folks, just I can't, whatever the words are. So figure it out from the account, okay? The timers, not being able to say anything. Just figure it out. But they set up all these multiple terrorist compounds in my country, protected primarily by the Russian military, who you just don't want to engage with, dude. Oh yeah, here's the principles. So they don't attack women. They're some of the most best fighters in the world. I mean, yes, they are. And wow, if you want to engage your men, like I've learned this in combat with militaries like that, China's another one, you need to really, really, really absolutely have no other option. And Putin's been attacking his own country like that for 8 years, endlessly with the help and the protection of the United States. So the main problemo is the U.S., but this is scholars, you know, how I reference math class. And yeah, it does take time. So as much as I have grievances and have complained about getting gray hair and 8 years later, I still have 22 cents in my bank account. And I'm forbidden from talking about all my grievances. It's been really, really horrible. Like 8 years, man. But let's not get stuck there because it's almost blinding me how upset I am about this permanent way that I live in the United States. But if you just take out the numero uno problema, because of the scholars, the math class, the strategy, it took time, I understand. It's focused on here now. The United States is the number one supporter of all the Middle Eastern terrorists and the number one supporter of Vladimir Putin. So it's at this point, someone at my grade level can figure that out, and you just remove that problema. And Putin can't be attacking his military there. He's going to be hung and arrested for all this terrorism and treason. He basically is. You can tell. You've been able to tell for a good 6 years, 5 years, he's really had it bad. But he's still completely protected and able to do a lot of TV shows. He's still able to, it's the same as the president in China, Xi. He's able to do a lot of really, really evil crap stuff and things to the country of China, but he's powered, he's enabled, he's financed, he's utterly and completely protected by the United States. So Xi and Putin and these Muslim terrorists out of the Middle East have all the U.S. ordering publicly all these quasi-wars, all these declarations of military attacks in Venezuela. Now, the first one, Venezuela, was really dangerous, but it took highest level of generals, and they actually exist in the world, to deal with that. There's no way someone like me could. The reason why for the public that this is taking 8 years is in order to not have catastrophic weapons used and millions of lives lost, and this is facts on paper, of regular people like me and you with puppies and cats at home who make bacon and eggs for breakfast, like regular folks. In order for the populations to not be attacked through these terrorists who set up compounds, engage in biological and chemical weapon terrorism and warfare, empower domestic terrorists, do the most heinous crimes that I'm forbidden from saying or witnessed or talk about at all. I can't talk about anything in the United States, okay, or the town I'm in. So just know that. So I have to operate like that today. In order for millions of lives not to be lost, right? And this is in different places on your radar here in China, just anywhere, some parts of India. They have a lot of problems in India right now. The Muslim terrorists, which the Indians are very familiar and aware of, are just trying to rampage India. They have Modi, and what does Modi always do? Modi's always in America working with every one of them, Biden and Trump. And what is Modi always doing? Modi's always working with weapons. Even if he comes here like the last time and says it's just for some sort of trade, it's not, because by the time he comes back, either one of these presidents, Biden or Trump, is working on these missiles and these catastrophic weapons. And that is all central out of a lot of the countries that you can find on my account. I have given you proper information on that. So, and no, I don't want to be paid for it. It's a good thing to do to let people know, okay, the atrocities that are happening. Of course, this is a moral code, but to have only 22 cents is just getting old, man. Okay, nonetheless, so you'll see these places, these certain leaders, they're stuck there. They don't seem to ever leave power. Like Macron is just, what is he, permanent figure in France? I guess so. And at least they declared that with the Xi in China. He's permanent, but he's not. They're super smart in China, and they have a communist military, okay? So Xi, at some point, they'll definitely make this public, what they do about the problem of Xi. But they're all based out of the U.S. now. Everybody's operating out of American military, okay? The creeping, nasty Army and Navy guys, all right? Really nasty men. And so as long as they keep the U.S. and this disgusting Wall Street and the crimes that are being just flagrantly committed from the financial institutions and from the government itself, the government-regulated Wall Street. I don't remember the word Wall Street. That's enough. As long as they can keep that going with and they add the crypto and they add the Bitcoin and they make it a complete circus. It's not even professional or even legit business anymore. As long as they can keep that, then all these really evil humans that want to declare they have permanent political power will just keep these various terrorist compounds going and going. And they did have some in England, and they had a lot of them in Eastern Europe, because a lot of the Eastern European mafia is huge stranglehold in this, okay? Eastern European organized crime thought they were fucking gods. Like gods have come from the clouds. The Eastern European mafia was convinced they were taking over the entire political structure of superpower countries based on our planet. Can I get this clear and make it more clear? You have Eastern European, and they're not the only ones, but they really were horrific, the atrocities they were allowed to commit in the United States. The Eastern European crime families were allowed and protected to commit some of the most historic and disgusting atrocities in my country to date. So they were convinced, being mobsters, that they were taking over the world in every way they could. They had Wall Street, they had Muslim terrorists, they had it all. They had the U.S. Pentagon, they had two sitting presidents sucking their cock. They just had it all. Okay, they had cops, and they based a lot of that off white nationalism. They could reel them in and pay them off and buy them off being white skinned like me. White power. So that was the bait and hook. Okay, it's really disgusting what Americans took part in. And so, history is told, you do what you do, you make the choices you make. And so my choices in life are to not be hung up in anger, learn to forgive. I mean, I'm talking about learning to forgive an Eastern Ukrainian mafioso. It's a challenge. I'm not there yet. I'm not quite there yet, able to forgive these really disgusting, violent people. But it's expected of me to do it. I have to come to a point and do it as soon as I can. Forgiveness is forgiveness, because these Eastern crime men, these Eastern European crime mafioso men, don't have the right to rent space in my head. They have, along with the Middle Eastern and these U.S. creeps, we got a whole Washington state full of them, but I can't talk about anything. We've got a capital city. I remember what the lovely neighbors were all about on S Street. So we've got a lot of people in my country that I'm a citizen of that are just so disgusting, violent, and evil. You can't just blame the Eastern European mafia. I'm aware of that, okay? They took the bait. They took the bait and hook. All for white power, or some of it was for Muslim. I've explained this for the cartel and the African Americans. They got hooked in with the Muslim thing. It's just, that's their choices that they made. Okay, so I know that I was all over the place. I didn't quite stick to one topic, but when you have timers going off and everything's interrupted, I'm just done. I'm not going to try anymore, okay? So that is what's happening today. This is what you see, what you're reading is not exactly for me to even read. It's for the good guys. It's some sort of term that I am not familiar with. It's not quite disinformation. It's not quite psychological warfare, but it's directed directly at the good guys. It's not exactly for me. The only way it applies to psych warfare and disinformation is when I choose to publish it. Okay, and once again, you don't want to encounter at any combative level the Russian fucking military. So thank you, God the Father, that you sent the GRU to help me, because that is one of the military special ops that were there. I was not imagining it, in Washington, D.C., along with the U.S. Navy SEALs and their helicopters with the white stars and the camouflage. Adios.